All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a special broadcast, and I'm only saying it's special because it's short. I usually call these type of broadcasts a Black Talk Radio news brief. So, good evening to you all. I hope that my voice finds you safe behind the enemy lines of USA Inc. I tell you, boy, I don't feel safe in Gaston County. Feel like I'm behind the enemy lines of Gaston County, and I shouldn't have to feel that way. I really shouldn't have to feel that way. But I feel that way because of the climate that has been created all throughout the country by Donald Trump with his dog whistles. And I really don't want to go off into him, but I want to talk about what's going on here locally where I live, which is Gaston County, North Carolina. So earlier today on Facebook, I peeped one of the commissioners live stream. I hear that he does one every day, like, sitting in his car and doing these live streams. And I think he's been doing them for quite some time. I know he would do them from his house and sitting in his driveway, and his neighbor was complaining about that. I also heard his neighbors was complaining when I came up to that community and shot a video and saying that we need to protest in that community to let Chad Brown's neighbor know that they got a Neo-Confederate, if they already don't know, got a Neo-Confederate suspected racist who is really just doing a lot of stuff to divide people along, along lines that shouldn't even exist. We shouldn't even be talking about USA versus the CSA or talking about the Confederacy, let alone having monuments to people that tried to destroy the United States. How can you claim that you can bring people together when you're holding on to over 150-year-old divisions and promoting that above the interests of other citizens and not taking their thoughts on the matter and actually just being a dictator, because that's how it was back during Jim Crow. And that is definitely how the county commission, not all of them, but four: Tracy Fieldbeck, Alan Fraley, Jack Brown, and the topic of tonight's subject is Chad Brown, who made a video today. And we're going to take a look at that video because he talks about me without mentioning my name. He talks about people using fake names on the internet. And I know all about fake names because I got a bunch of them in my DM bots issuing threats to me. My daughters get a bunch of them issuing threats to me. He want to talks about if you want to make progress, come to the committee meetings. But isn't that what we did for 3 months in reference to that Neo-Confederate idol to white supremacy that celebrates slavery? And y'all could claim it's all about some soldiers and memorializing those soldiers. Well, that's not a graveyard. Y'all want to talk about moving it, it's erasing history, but you wasn't saying that when they moved it from the old courthouse and put it on the 35-foot pedestal that dwarfs any other of the, I wouldn't call them monuments, but tributes to U.S. veterans like myself. You got several. I didn't even really notice it was that many, at least 3 markers that's honoring veterans of the United States military. And on none of those, you had a number of county veterans organizations come together to put those tributes to veterans out there. And the Daughters of the Confederacy, the Sons of Confederate Veterans, which are calling themselves veteran organizations, none of their names are listed on those things. None of those. They didn't work with other veterans organizations within the county because they are about destroying the United States. These people are terrorists. They have never let their grandfathers or great-grandfathers dream go of establishing a white supremacist nation, still practicing slavery, chattel slavery, mind you, and holding quote-unquote Negroes in perpetual bondage and oppression, the black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect or obligated to respect. Judge Taney, that doctrine that was issued before from the Supreme Court before the Civil War. See, that's what y'all still on. Y'all still on doing that type of stuff. Y'all are the divisions. But if you're going to talk about me, Chad Brown, say my name, because I definitely say your name. I know you got spies. I know people report to all the officials, law enforcement, the commissioners. I know they run back and tell everything I do. But like I said to the person who said something about they got security at the Confederate graveyard. Well, it's not a Confederate graveyard, but at the Flat Rock Cemetery, okay, that like I'm supposed to be afraid of Neo-Confederates knowing I'm in a cemetery where there's some Confederate graves at. A video I made back in March, but I guess they thought I just made it. Putting forth a good faith effort, since y'all want to say it's about some lost soldiers whose bodies never were returned and are in mass graves. That's where it belongs. That's where it belongs. But, you know, if I didn't want, if I was scared to go anywhere in the United States of America, especially public property or anything open to the public, I wouldn't live stream it. If I was up to anything underhanded or criminal, I wouldn't live stream it. So I know y'all be watching me like hawks and reporting back. And it's good to know that I'm all up in your mind like that. I want to stay in your mind. I want y'all to always think about me and what I might do next. Okay? So let's pull up this video. He's probably deleted it from his page, so I made a copy of it because people have told me Chad Brown, the commissioner on the county board, likes to delete stuff. He likes to delete things. How can I open up this file? Let me see, share. Do I want to share it? I do not want to share it to YouTube. Yeah, Chad Brown, if you're going to talk about me, okay, here's my folder. If you're going to talk about me and what I post on Facebook, at least say my name like I'm saying your name. At least give me that much respect. You want to talk about me posting people's public information who have threatened me, along with others during this whole 3-month process that y'all just took a dump on, like black people don't matter. Certainly those black victims of slavery of the Confederacy in Gaston County don't matter. That's what y'all seeing with that statute. That's what you said with this whole process. Let me see. I need to get to, and I hate this getting used to the, okay, Confederate monuments. I got a whole file on these Confederate monuments. I take screenshots of all the threats. Where you at, Chad Brown? There you go. Okay, let me open up this video and then share it with the people, and we're gonna break it down. All right. Okay, we're gonna break this video down and how he's making a mockery and playing so innocent. This is really why I personally don't like Chad Brown. You go to the Gaston County Commissioner's pages where they have all their public information, their address, telephone numbers, and all of that. And he's like on there playing, oh, I'm such a Christian. Before I do anything, I pray to the Holy Spirit and all of that. And then even at the last, when they did that dirt on August the 25th, the last thing that they did, well, they opened it up with Chad Brown over there with his head bowed down, praying. You know, praying to who and praying to what? Because when the clergy came through on that special meeting on August the 13th, you heard preacher after preacher after preacher after preacher tell you that as Christians, that thing is wrong. Scripture is against idols like that, especially idols to people that are connected to white supremacy, to chattel slavery, and just, you know, antichrist, really. You want to talk about Christ, come to set people free. The damn Confederates didn't want to let nobody free. And that's what those men chose to get their lives for, okay? And it's not about memorializing them. It's not. It's about sending a message. We know that from the dedication speeches, and we know it from your behavior, the descendants' behavior, and what they say and do. So let's share his video. I'm going to be stopping it and breaking it down for you. Let me share. Here it is right here. And you're going to say my name. You're going to talk about me. Say my name, Chad Brown. If I'm swimming in your head, say my name if you're going to talk about me. Because I ain't afraid to talk about you. So here's this copy of this Chad Brown video I made today, and I'll just pause it when I need to. Let me pull it to the center of my desktop. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and roll the tape.
All right, a little early today, just for the simple fact that we have to go to another luncheon. But anyway, trying to make sure you guys get your daily briefing, right? But hopefully everybody's having a good day. It is almost to payday Friday. As you know, today being hump day is just another day we have to get through. It's the middle of the week. It's downhill from here. But hey girl, hope you're well. Hope you're buying lots of steel today. But it's been a wild day today. If you saw the front end of this, which is too much. I saw someone had sent me something to where, now we're into posting, and we may be losing you right now. Now we're into posting people's addresses and phone numbers, and I'm lost. I pray and hope nothing happens to these people, because if so, those people who do these acts need to be charged with anything that happens. Because if not that you're trying to do something, why post it? I think those are just acts that just don't need to be. And then I saw something.
Okay, we're going to stop it right there. He says he thinks those are acts that say my name, Chad Brown. I posted the dude's public information with his phone number. Since he want to be in my DMs threatening me, I probably got a month's worth or a couple of months worth of DMs from this person threatening me, stalking me on Facebook. I have come to community meetings. My daughter has come to community meetings and told how we've gotten these threats. You want to know why I posted it? To let that person know who told me, and I don't care, everybody know or know where I live, okay? Because I give my address when I go to these meetings, don't I? I've given my address, not that last time, but I make no secret where I live. I'm out in the public doing public events and what have you. I post up where I'm going to be and what I'm doing, whether I'm registering people to vote, whether I'm be posted up at the courthouse demonstrating, wherever. If I'm coming to a meeting, and we told y'all how we was getting these threats. We documented these threats. When my daughter organized that first march in Stanley, I posted on this white guy was in her DMs talking about, if you come by my house, you going to get, I'm going to be cleaning my guns. Was you up, and this was in Stanley, where you live, Chad Brown, was you all up on your Facebook Live talking about that ought to be, we ought not be threatening women in Gaston County who are doing nothing but engaged in their First Amendment speech rights and what have you, okay? All in these little groups and what have you, all of these threats. And we've documented them all, okay? And these is people that listen to you. and take cues from you, because you try to covertly engage in it, but I'm going to break you down because you're not that hard to figure out. And I'm going to try not to call you any names, but you just are not the brightest bulb, you know, in the box. Now, you want to know why I posted it? That's why I posted it, to send a message that I don't care if you got my address, you got my phone number. My phone number's public, okay? It's right there on my Facebook profile. Don't think I'm afraid of you, okay? Because I know where you live too. That's why I posted. It was a message to them, okay? And it was public information. You know, telephone book is public information. Maybe people should realize that you just can't change your Facebook name that shows in the display and then message somebody, and then they're not able to see your real name, what that messenger account is attached to. So just to let y'all know, I'm not dumb. I'm a very intelligent person, and you can get got or found out just as you know where I am, okay? And I ain't trying to hide. Y'all the ones that's trying to hide with these fake names. I do everything under my real name, Chad Brown. Okay, I do, but you want to know why I posted it? That's why I posted it. And I ain't never heard you speak out on the violence that's being, the threats that's being directed at peaceful protesters, whether it's the Gaston County Freedom Fighters or it's the East Gaston Coalition of Freedom and Justice, which has been holding down Stanley and Mount Holly, was just in Stanley a few days ago, registering people to vote. Okay, so let's move on, because he just really shows how ignorant he is. He really tells, I mean, I don't know if he's being ignorant or is he just shoving in our face that we participated in the democratic process for 3 months. That's demonstrations, that's the Council of Understanding, that's participating in community meetings, and then for y'all to go back on the deal, you and Jack Brown, Tracy Fieldbeck, and then Alan Fraley, who was also talking about he was inspired by God to vote to relocate that Confederate idol to slavers, white supremacists, and the people they drafted who had an option to go ahead and desert the Confederate Army if they didn't believe in practicing slavery or racism. But they did, so that's why they stayed. So don't even use the excuse that they was drafted. Some of them did desert and go to the Union Army. But man, I tell you, these people really, really make your blood boil. So let's hear what else Mr. Brown has to say.
Something about fake names last night, which was kind of the moniker for what's been happening. Does anybody even have a real name? I mean,
my name is Scotty T. Reed Chad Brown, and I've never hid in the shadows like the people that you and Jack Brown and others been doing behind the scenes, you know, not being transparent with the people of Gaston County. And you come up with these little deals with Neo-Confederate organizations like the Sons of Confederate Veterans, who are a Neo-Confederate group, which has ties to white nationalist groups and Nazi groups. There's a whole thing written about it and documented about the internal struggles of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, who are also under investigation for or have had a complaint filed against them for illegal campaign donations through a super PAC they set up. So I do my research on y'all, Chad Brown, but I've never hid in the shadows or tried to do anything behind anybody's back. My name is Scotty T. Reed. That's my name, Chad Brown.
If you're not trying, if you're so Billy Badass to send somebody's name and to put all these things out there, why are you not using your real name? Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it's other reasons why you're not putting it out there. Anyway, you know, I don't know what is, like I said, I think the biggest problem is that everybody, it's just a back and forth every day somebody saying something, and at the end of the day, are we really getting anywhere? I mean, are we...
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. You mean like you, Chad Brown? Now it's been my job since 2007 to do radio broadcasts and to comment on political and social issues. You know, I did found Black Talk Media Project and the award-winning Black Talk Radio Network. Okay,
really?
But you, what do you do? What have you been doing here lately? Every day on your live, sitting in your driveway, making these lives, feeding red meat and blowing dog whistles for your fellow Neo-Confederates, treasonous, suspected terrorists. I'm telling you, man, I don't know why citizens of the United States suffer these people, man. They are and it's against the law, man, to promote sedition, insurrection, rebellion, and they revel in the rebellion. They call themselves rebels. This man should not be holding public office. Him and Jack Brown should be under federal investigation. These are traitors, man. Then they sit up there and pledge allegiance to the United States flag and all of that and say, and I wonder what their oath of office are. Okay, is it to the United States or is it to Neo-Confederate suspected terrorists? So don't try to talk about people creating division and going back and forth and all that, because that's all you. That's all you and your Commissioner Tracy Fieldbeck, who you do mention.
Changing the way things are. People sometimes say that oh, they're making progress or whatever. Progress is made through just, you know, come to a meeting, express yourself of how it's going. But I just can't believe that some of the things that I have seen in the last few days. How
now let's back that up. Let's back that up for a second. But let me go widescreen. Did y'all hear what this man said? For 3 months, people have been writing letters to the Gaston Gazette, professionals, regular citizens, lawyers, doctors, just veterans like myself, U.S. veterans, okay? We've been coming to these commissioner meetings. We've been exercising our First Amendment rights peacefully, organizing marches. Some some of these towns like Stanley and Mount Holly in its 100-year history, just over 100 years, both of them have never seen a march for social justice or social issues or civil rights or constitutional rights or equality or anything like that. Okay, and we announced these things and we got nothing but hate and threats, and some of the people came out there trying to intimidate people, you know, on their motorcycles, riding. I've talked about it before. I don't need to rehash all that. But most importantly, we've been calling the commissioners, signing petitions, circulating petitions, the democratic process, every peaceful democratic way that the system laid out for us. Then your chairman, Tracy Fieldbeck, creates a council of understanding, say, we want this to be a model for the rest of the United States. We're going to do it peacefully. We're going to do it democratically. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was saying. This is going to be a model. And I was very skeptical because when you have 6-4 and 6 against something, they call that a deadlock. So then he could have said, well, we tried and it's a deadlock, so I guess it got to stay. But just like a prior commission that was set up by the county commissioners, or it might have been by the city of Gastonia, but it was another commission set up in the county to decide the fate of that monument, and they voted to relocate it, remove it from in front of the courthouse. Now it's in front of the new courthouse on a 35-foot pedestal. Then the Tracy Fieldbeck created Council of Understanding vote 7-5 with a recent immigrant from Cuba who y'all was, I heard some of the people making talking points like, oh yeah, he knows how grateful it is to be free and all this, because he was in Cuba and under all that communism and all this, and all your right-wing talking points. Okay, but who did he, when he listened to both sides, probably went home because they weren't sequestered, did his research, and who did he vote with? He voted to relocate a Neo-Confederate monument to white supremacy and slavery. He had to probably be the most objective person in the room. And so then what happened? Then another resolution, Jack Brown going to say, well, regardless of what that, I'm going to put in or what the council understanding what Tracy Fieldbeck set up to make a recommendation. I ain't trying to hear that. Remember, he wrote an angry letter to the Gaston Gazette, my turn now. And then all these right-wing talking points about groups that ain't even operating in Gaston County, but much talked about on the right-wing media circuit. You know, none of that stuff has been going on that Jack Brown was ranting about. In this county, we've done everything peacefully. Not even a window's been broken. Not even a trash can set on fire and put in the middle of the street. Nothing like that has occurred. Nothing. Then he introduced this resolution, and Chad Brown, you vote with him to keep it there. And the other 5 commissioners voted against y'all, which technically means they want to relocate it. So then you come up with another resolution after talking to the Neo-Confederate suspected terrorist organization, Sons of Confederate Veterans. You talk to them, and they was like, well, if it seems like this is what Tracy Fieldbeck said, well, they told me, see, they having backroom deals. This wasn't done out in the public or nothing like that. He negotiating with these Neo-Confederates. Okay, well and fine. We just want to relocate it. If that's gonna make that happen, okay, it's gonna happen. So they say if it looks like they're gonna vote to relocate it, give it to us. And that's what Tracy Fieldbeck did. They drew up a deed. But then, like the liars and conniving evil people that they are, they backed out the deal. Okay, they backed out the deal, had some of their little terrorist friends come in from South Carolina, have demonstrations and what have you. But anyway, they voted 6-1 to give this to the Sons of Confederates. That's how democracy works, right? That's how it's supposed to work. That's what Chad Brown just got through telling us should happen, right? In case y'all don't remember or missed it, let's go back to it. This is what he said, right? All that I just laid out, and listen to what this evil man is saying.
Getting anywhere. I mean, are we really changing the way things are? People sometimes say that oh, they're making progress or whatever. Progress is made through just, come to a meeting, express yourself of how it's going. But I just can't believe that some of the things that I have seen.
I just can't believe that yes, I can believe, because I know institutional racism exists in Gaston County. So yes, I believe that some white men with Neo-Confederate sympathies, suspected racists, and I ain't called you racist yet, but I suspect you were practicing racism, because that's what the Neo-Confederate paraphernalia is all about. When we can read what the people said at the time when they put up these false idols, these anti-Christian monuments to sin. You know what I'm saying? And Chad Brown, he prays, he asked the Holy Spirit. Did you pray and ask did the Holy Spirit tell you to work with Jack Brown to introduce a resolution to just crap all over all 3 months worth of work that was put in by the citizens of Gaston County, wrote numerous letters, participated in demonstrations, came to every community meeting. And then even when it wasn't even on the agenda, stood out there on the public square in the courthouse courtyard, voicing their thoughts on as U.S. citizens and non-white people, primarily black people, to objecting to having this monument to white supremacy in front of a place that's supposed to represent justice. But we know it don't represent justice because y'all just showed us that. Because you're working that building, you did it in that building, and that's why that marker was put out there in the first place, to tell black people, although we lost the Civil War, Reconstruction is over, we are not going to respect your newfound rights, you victims of slavery and your children and grandchildren. We're going to just ignore your voices like you don't matter. But I'm here to tell you, I matter. We will be out in them streets and we'll be doing whatever we're going to be doing until it's gone, Chad Brown. Man, you disgust me. How dare you mock the process like that? Just come to the meeting. What the hell you think people been doing for 3 months, Chad Brown? You're evil, man. You're evil, man. And your days is numbered on that board seat. I promise you that. I promise you, come 2022, you out of there, if not before, okay? Because we need to see if we can have you and Jack Brown impeached. We can get some more information about these backroom deals y'all been making about getting y'all impeached, all right? Because you can't be pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and then going against the will of the majority of the people in Gaston County who have participated with that flag of the Confederate States of America on the side of it. Then talk about some honorable service on the other side, and then got a man with a rifle with a Confederate uniform, and then y'all think y'all can separate the quote-unquote boys from the uniform. All of that means something. You got to take it all together. Y'all were given the opportunity to relocate it, and you turned it down. And so any chaos that happens from here on out, that's on y'all. That's not on anybody else. That's not on groups that don't even exist in Gaston County. It's not on Antifa. It ain't on Black Lives Matter. You know, it ain't on nobody but that commission for acting like tyrants. You want to talk about communism? Some person called me a communism on this thread today, or called me a communist. Man, you know, the 50s call, they want their political slurs back, okay? Y'all said the same thing about Dr. King simply because he was out here advocating for poor people and demanding, you know, a right to work, guaranteed jobs, guaranteed housing. Then I tell you, y'all want to call that communism and call me a communism. Man, I tell you, man, this ain't the 50s. And no disrespect, because our ancestors, our grandparents, they fought you tooth and nail. Shout out to Robert F. Williams, to his spirit, Monroe, North Carolina. Y'all know what I'm talking about, those that know the history of North Carolina, especially this area. We do not take terrorism very well. So let's listen to the rest of what Chad Brown has to say.
In the last few days, how everybody has just gotten to, now they're looking for impeachment of the commissioners.
That's right.
You know,
see, again, don't talk about me, Chad Brown, and be scared to say my name. Say my name, Chad Brown. Give me that credit. If I said it, give me the credit. Scotty Reed said it, Chad Brown. We need to look into the rules of impeachment of these Gaston County commissioners who have acted so unethically, who have possibly violated their oath of office to defend the Constitution and the rights of U.S. citizens from all enemies, foreign and domestic. But you're collaborating with suspected domestic terrorists who would deny me my right. And in this monument and in this action that y'all taking is a celebration and extension of that. Okay? Say my name, Chad Brown. Say my name.
I wonder where this stops or where it gets to, because I looked at a lot of the things and I went back to the meeting because everybody said, oh, well, the commissioners broke the rules by voting before they had public comments. Well, actually, the rules are made by the chairman at that time. But if you'll notice, it was people who were for introducing a new amendment that wanted to bring that forward earlier than
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He lost. He's not, again, he isn't the brightest bulb in the box, okay? So his claim to fame is being able to throw a baseball really hard and fast. All right. So anyway, again, let's rewind this. This man,
a lot of the things.
I tell you.
And I went back to the meeting because everybody said, oh, well, the commission.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what he's talking about, family. I've been going to these meetings every month, every time they have one since George Floyd got murdered. And I found out about it and then signing petitions and calling. And I called Ronnie Worley, the commissioner from Belmont, and he agreed with me that we cannot justify the cause of the Confederacy, and that statue needs to be removed. And the press asked him about it, and he told them the same thing about he had talked to me and another person. And he's also a U.S. veteran as well. He's also a former law enforcement officer as well. He was like, we just can't justify it. And that's what really got us momentum on this three-month, path. 3-month path. And he just said that Tracy Fieldbeck makes up the rules as they go along now. I've been going to all these meetings. When a resolution is introduced, they first have citizen recognition. So the citizens can say what they feel about it. That makes sense. If you really care about what the public has to say, what the citizens have to say, if you really were seeking their input and your mind wasn't already made up because you didn't cut a deal, you didn't talk to these suspected white supremacist Neo-Confederates who backed out of a deal to take possession and ownership of the monument just to give us the middle finger and keep it there, okay? That ain't how government supposed to work. And then for y'all to just vote like that. And then what was the purpose of public comments then? What was the point? Yeah, it already voted. You just said that everybody in that room's voice didn't matter when it counted, and that was before you voted. But see, that shows premeditation. Definitely on the part of Chad Brown, and definitely on the part of Jack Brown, because they both sponsored the resolution, right? They sponsored it. And these men have conspired to just deny justice, to deny democracy, to just crap on the rights of everybody who came out and participated to remove that statue. Okay? And you did it with, according to the Lincoln newspaper, with a side deal, Jack Brown, with the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Okay? I don't know, is that legal? We need to find out. We need to do our research. We need to be filing complaints. And I already got one person newly hired at the county that I will be filing a complaint with. Okay? But he's telling us, Tracy Fieldbeck, just make the rules up as they go along. And Hovis was definitely surprised about that resolution. The county attorney, Jonathan Sink, claimed he called everybody, but why would Hovis lie and say he didn't talk to nobody? And that was a surprise to him. That's why he tried to introduce an amendment to the resolution to take out the language that says it's going to stay right there to undo this deal. Y'all dirty, man. And it's everybody see it. Even the local paper see it. They've been publishing it, the regional papers. Everybody know that y'all played dirty pool. You have no credibility. I need to end this, but I want to get to the part where he's talking about some Trumper thugs, gonna be 1,000 of them riding around the community with their trucks and their flags. And we know what we just seen that Trump caravan in Portland do. Because I just did a program on, did a episode on Black Talk Radio News tonight, last night or the night before about it, showing you the video where they were saying, showed the video of all the cars with their flags and saying how they was going to attack Antifa. We coming for you, Antifa. Playing these political games and stuff. Being hyped up by these millionaire talking heads on TV because y'all got pea brains and think that the WWF is real wrestling. I don't mean to be insulting, but God just didn't bless everybody with a full glass when he was giving out brains. He just didn't. Then other people, they've been impacted by lead in the water or something happened to them when they was a children to affect their development. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just acknowledging, the facts here. But I think some of them are just evil, man. And they will deny the truth no matter how many times you smack them in the face. And it's transparent what Chad Brown is about. So let's listen to him talking about these thugs. And I posted earlier today, North Carolina laws on open carry and concealed carry. I would imagine that people on this day that he announcing, since they haven't announced the route and saying ride around for hours, they might pull some of that mess that they pulled out there in Portland, shooting people with paintball guns, throwing mace at them, shooting them in the face with mace. And one of them got shot after allegedly macing a protester. Police told them not to go downtown. They went anyway, looking for trouble. But here, listen to this. I think people in the county ought to know.
Broke the rules by voting before they had public comments. Well, actually, the rules are made by the chairman at that time.
The rules are made by the chairman. I mean, listen to what he just said. The rules are made by the chairman at that time. That's like saying the chairman makes up the rules on the spot. However, whatever rule he wants to come up with. And Tracy Billbeck does seem to wield that kind of power, that kind of dictatorial power in our county. It's like fascism, man, the way I'm seeing it through my eyes. No, I don't think Tracy Fieldbeck, I think there's rules, minutes and all. No, there's rules, Chad Brown. Tracy Fieldbeck don't get to make them up as we go. So you're caught in a lie right there. And if that was true, you okay with it.
Who were for introducing a new amendment that wanted to bring that forward earlier than when you have that. Can we just split the country? Let the Dems run apart. Well, I mean, if they want Seattle and they want Washington, Oregon, and California, I guess. But I mean, I saw a.
Now you need to see what he was reading from his thread, because I had really just cut in live at this point or a little before, because I take screenshots of a lot of stuff. This is what the person wrote. So let me see if I can share this with you. I should be able to. Yeah, there we go. Pull up my imaging software. Travis Garrison at 3:39 today said, can we just split the country and let Dems run their part their way, but stay in their states, and Repubs have their own states to run and stay in? And Kelly Parker Dugan says, I keep asking the same thing. This is like insurrectionist type language. This is like, and I commented that the country has already tried that in its history. It was called the American Civil War, the worst war this country has ever been in, more casualties than any war this country as a nation has participated in. I mean, just the blood, the guts, the devastation, and what have you. And here, Chad Brown fans is on like Neo-Confederates fantasizing about splitting the country up. And Chad Brown doesn't say we're all one nation. We don't want to do that. You don't know if everybody, we can't force people who are registered as Democrats out of Gaston County or out of North Carolina and make move somewhere. Hell, their ancestors was here before my grandfather came here on a boat, okay? Before my grand or great-grandfather came fleeing the potato famine or what have you. This black person, African-American at one time, his ancestors was known as mulattoes or what, and they was here way before you. Way before y'all even thought about jumping on the boat or being forced on the boat because, you know, that's what England did with its prisoners that they wanted to get rid of, their undesirables. Poor people, they sent them to the New World, so to speak. So the Civil War has already been fought. The Union won. Chattel slavery was ended. The Confederacy was put down. The deciding factor being 200,000 black Union soldiers, some free, some had been victims of slavery of y'all ancestors and the people y'all celebrate, and they put them down. But the biggest mistake they made is that they did not hang them by the neck till dead for treason. That's what should have happened. And we wouldn't have Neo-Confederate statues at county courthouses all throughout North Carolina and other Southern Confederate states. Hell, we got Confederate monuments in states that wasn't even states at the time. So what did that tell you? These was meant to send a message of white supremacy, send a message to black folks that we ain't gonna respect your rights. This is Jim Crow, okay? All right, so this is what he feeds into. So let's listen to his response. But I wanted y'all to know what he was reading because he didn't read it all. Can we just split the country and let Dems run? I'm not a Democrat. I'm an unaffiliated voter. I have voted in Democratic primaries. I have voted in Republican primaries. I have voted for a Green Party candidate for president twice. I don't play y'all partisan games. I'm a grown man. I'm not a teenager. Like, you know, high school rivalries and stuff like that. I don't engage in that type of childishness. But I'm telling you, y'all, people who play stupid games win stupid prizes. Tell you, man. Then these people probably ain't never set foot in a war zone. I have. Tell you, man, anybody that thinks that's going to be a cakewalk, man, you need to be arrested, man, for inciting an insurrection. Telling you, man. Let's go back to Chad Brown. Where's Chad Brown? This is how our county commissioner responded to a person talking about insurrection, dividing up the states. Civil War II.
Great thing today that had, if you remember the old Verizon wireless coverage map, that's what they did for the Trump map. Had just one little area like in New York and California that was blue. I thought that was pretty cute. But as we get more people on here, I have to tell y'all the good news of the story of the day. By the way, Trump Retreat is up. I need you to go out and share Trump Retreat car parade. It's Trump Retreat car parade.
Let me just say, I'd rather have a treat than Trump. I mean, y'all see how stupid these people are? They don't even think logically or what have Trump or treat. Don't you mean Trump or trick? Is that what you really mean? Trick or Trump or treat? Because I know millions of people would love to treat themselves to less Trump.
Should be inside of one of the events file. If you go look at events for October 31st, 9 a.m., need you to go out and share it as much as possible. I can't share it enough because it only lets me share it so many times to so many people. So I need you guys to go out, go to community, and then hit everyone, so we can try to get this out and get the message out to have, we need 1,000 cars for Trump or treat. 1,000 cars is the goal. Obviously, we may not even come close to that, but it fails in comparison to, or pales in comparison, ever how you want to say it. Sorry, I didn't mean to make a, and we need to make it big. I mean, that's the thing. I don't like how I made it an event, because I need to change now, and maybe make it a page of its own, because you can't invite everybody at one time. It won't allow you. Facebook has got all these different things that they won't allow and they do allow. So we need 1,000 cars. So, you know, if you're a household and you have kids that can drive, we need them that day. We need every flag, everything that you have that we can put on a car for Trump or treat. And October 31st, that is at 9 a.m. And you can ride around all day, or you can ride for an hour, you can ride for 30 minutes, you can ride back home. It doesn't matter. The word is, we're going to spread the word. We're going to try to do everything we can to make sure that those things happen. So hopefully we can get that going. But I want to share some good news with you guys.
All right, we're going to stop it there. He's going to mention his son's name. And his son apparently likes to fish and just got a sponsorship, which I would also like to just say there will be economic strategy in Gaston County as it relates to that Neo-Confederate symbol of white supremacy and racism and slavery in front of our county courthouse after what these underhanded things these commissioners did, just subverting democracy. And then you got their little followers want to call me commies. You know what I'm saying? Give me a break. You know, that's all they can do is label people. They ask them for some proof of what they label people. They can't provide none. But I'm providing you proof of who Chad Brown is and what he has said and what he has done. So I need the network in Gaston County. Y'all know who the network is. I need y'all to be on y'all P's and Q's and gathering intelligence on this event Chad Brown talking about. Because it appears that he's trying to get thousands of Trumpers, who I will always suspect of being racist and being terrorists because of what they do around the country, or what they've been doing around the country. Like we saw in Portland. Police tell you to stay away from protests, but you go somehow just disobey the police orders. You go around the barricade. I don't know how you got in that area. The police must have didn't have it blocked off that well, but they told you, they're on record saying we told them not to go. Y'all, we're down there, you're on video shooting paintball guns, which I would take for a real gun, and it can maim somebody. You shoot somebody in the eye with a paintball gun, I don't want to say it could kill them, but it probably could put, their eye out or something. You're shooting paintball guns at people doing nothing but standing on the corner. You're shooting mace, bear mace. At that, this is Portland, Oregon, y'all, deep woods country folk, I guess. But, using bear mace on protesters. They hadn't done nothing to them because they're riding by doing all this from their trucks, okay? And I bet you they had been drinking. I bet you they was having a good old laugh. I showed the video the other day of the dude talking about Antifa, here we come. We gonna bring it to Antifa. And what happened to one of your suspected terrorists? He got a cap bust in his chest, didn't he? And there are reports that say he had maced somebody. I guess he got out the truck, went and confront some protester, tried to mace him, and got shot in the chest. That's what happened. That's what happened. He listened to the police. If he only followed commands right, he wouldn't have got shot. If he had only not acted like a little 16-year-old racist teenager like the ones I went to school with at East Gaston. It wasn't that many. It was a few, though. And they definitely loved that Confederate flag. All right, but they didn't open their mouths too much to us, really at all. But anyway, I'm saying red alert. Red alert, red alert. Not yellow alert, not orange alert, red alert on that day. All right, be prepared to defend yourselves, because apparently we're going to have some Trump thugs riding around in trucks for hours in Gaston County to do what? Probably like we saw a few years ago when those suspected racist terrorists were terrorizing those. It was in the Gaston paper over at that Walmart in, where is that? Would that be the western part of North Carolina, like you going towards Kings Mountain, where you go straight up Franklin and you hit that Walmart, and those black children were being chased by those men in trucks. Now, I don't recall if they had Confederate flags or not, but they were white. I believe they did have Confederate flags. I also did a report at the time. I had published a 911 call to the Gaston County 911 operator, or Gaston County police, where one of those suspected racist terrorists, and this was in the Gaston paper, with his flag, went to terrorize predominantly black apartment in Gastonia, and they opened up fire on him too, didn't they? He's lucky he didn't get shot. It was all fun and games, right? It was all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is 2020, people. Black folks in Gaston County believe in self-defense. They believe in Second Amendment rights. They may vote Democrat, and they may be for common sense gun legislation, but I grew up my grandfather used to keep a rifle in every corner of the house and a shotgun, just in case you terrorists want to come up here and burn the cross in the yard, just like y'all did when my aunt was the first one to integrate Mount Holly High School. Bunch of high school students came up here in the middle of the night, almost got shot, definitely got chased down to Charlie. See, they think they this is the stuff that they still engaged in. But it's time out for that. It's a new millennium. It's a new millennium. It's a new millennium. I declare this to be the millennium of freedom and justice. And that means we got to put in the work to make that happen. Chad Brown want to talk about, if you want to make progress, you stand in the way of progress. And that's why you got to go, and you're going to go, and your days is numbered. I'm not here to play with you or play with any of you little suspected racists and terrorists. Okay? So it is what it is. But I just had to come on and respond because I know Chad Brown was talking about me. Say my name, Chad. Say my name. And yes, we have talked about doing that demonstration in your hood. Okay? So just letting you know ahead of time. Well, I'm just go ahead and bring this special episode of Black Talk Radio News with a focus on Gaston County local. And, I'll be back on the air. Please continue to support the production of independent Black media and the uplifting of marginalized voices. Make a tax-deductible donation to the Black Talk Media Project. You can go to the award-winning blacktalkradionetwork.com. 2 years in a row has been ranked as the #1 Black podcasting site, Black-owned podcasting site, I should say, as well as the Black-owned Black digital radio platform in 2 different categories, all right? So we have been uplifting Black voices for a very long time, since 2008, and making and bringing our voices to the world. And tonight, you know, I need to just show our allies around the world what the type of people we still dealing with here in the United States. Neo-Confederate suspected terrorists, man. I'm telling you, not even loyal to the United States. They don't even see the contradictory of a county courthouse having a monument to people who tried to destroy it, and a government that tried to destroy it. Sick, man. I don't know if we living in the last days or what, man, but I know the Bible do say that the sins of the father is visited unto the son, even to the, what is it, the third and fourth generations. We not that many generations out of the Civil War, y'all. We're not that, and their descendants are still practicing the same thing, that same sin. They still plagued with that same sin. Just murder, that spirit of murder, that spirit of division, that spirit, just evil people, man. They just think that they own the world and everybody supposed to bow down to what they want. No, them days over, son. Peace and blessings to all. I'm out.
Land of the free, it lies the home of the homeless. Too many die every day, and we really just want this freedom. Freedom.